Something that I was thinking about recently was bravery, or the word, or being brave, and what that means to people. I think a lot of times people think it's the lack of fear or not being afraid. You know, those are the people that are brave. But I've really tried to take on the definition of being brave is in those moments where you are afraid, where you do have a lot of fear, you decide to do it anyway. That being the moment of bravery. Everyone has those moments of fear, moments of being afraid, but it's more of the fact, it's like, do you fall back in those moments? Or do you be like, okay, even though I'm afraid, I'm still gonna do it. And that's being brave. So.
Hi, my dear friends. Today we are in Los Angeles and this is Coffee with Saskia, but today we have a tea with Saskia and with Sugi Dakks. He is a wonderful musician and soul and performer, and let's see what we have today and what is your story. So you were in Switzerland, right, for a big concert in Geneva.
Yes.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And it was nice,
It
good.
It was great. It was great. Yes. So I had the amazing opportunity to play with this artist named Miyavi, who's actually from Japan. He's like a Japanese guitarist and singer, and he is also an ambassador for the United Nations refugee portion of the United Nations. I forget what it's called. I think it's called the UNHCR. I forget what the name stands for, but it has to do with refugees. And so he's an ambassador and does a lot of work in the refugee space, trying to help refugees, trying to promote more awareness around it, trying to raise fundraising for them. And that was really eye-opening for me as well, because I didn't know a lot about the lifestyle of refugees and what all that entails, and all the amazing people that were doing amazing work in that space. So yeah, I got to fly to Switzerland to play piano with Miyavi for the event, and pretty much the event was like an awards ceremony, and they were highlighting people that have done amazing work in the space. And I got to also experience Switzerland for the first time. A little bit. I was only there for like 3.5 days, so I definitely need to go back. But I really enjoyed how beautiful Switzerland is, and
it was your first time in Switzerland?
It was my first time in Switzerland. Yes,
but not in Europe.
I studied abroad in Italy randomly. So I spent like 6 months in Italy. This was like way back in college days. But that was also amazing because I got to stay with an Italian family.
That is pretty. And good food.
Amazing food. Amazing food. I don't know, is it a similar culture where they spend like 2 hours every meal, and you know, they have like 6 courses where it's like the salad course, and then the meat course, and the pasta course, and the bread course, and the fruit course, and the dessert course.
And the dessert.
Yes.
The espresso.
Yes, and I love it too because it's so family oriented. So like the family I was with, we couldn't eat until everyone went home. So it's very different from American culture, where it's like food's on the table, everyone grabs it, and then just goes back to their room for the most part. That was really.
So it was a kind of a warm feeling, right? So like a home, like a warm home feeling.
Home feeling that. I don't think a lot of them and many Americans feel. So. So, but yes, back to Switzerland. I had an amazing experience. Also, it was amazing because my girlfriend actually came with me as a background singer for the event. So the fact that she was there also was pretty nice.
So it was, it was a family event as well.
Exactly, exactly.
That is so beautiful, and I think to bring different energies together is very, very important, and helps to understand more about everyone and about yourself as well.
Yes,
I guess,
definitely.
Right? And so you said you played the piano, but you are a singer and rapper as well, right?
Yes.
So what is your kind of art? What do you want to express? What is your message for the world? Or so at the moment, or I know it's changed a lot, so it's like me, I work on 4 songs right now, and it's like sometimes I have the connection, sometimes I don't have, and then I have to wait, kind of, and it's horrible, because I'm always afraid this is the last song, so I have no inspiration, and I don't know, you feel that sometimes too, that you think now it's the end?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have the same fear where you make a song and you're really inspired and you're like, wow, this song is amazing, and you're like, this is the best song I've ever written. And then that high kind of goes away and you're back to like nothing, and then you start making stuff and nothing feels good or nothing like gets you excited, and then you're like, well, I guess I'm not inspired by music anymore. You know, I can't. Those thoughts do creep in for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean to answer your question in terms of the other side. So, piano for me is definitely it's what I went to school for. I went to school for jazz piano, so that's like kind of my musical background. So it definitely does a lot of paying the bills and getting me into different doors and different opportunities that I love. I also teach piano. I play in churches. I play piano and organ.
Yeah.
Or for different artists, or you know, like different restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's all like the side hustle things.
Yeah.
And then the main thing of my artist project, where mainly writing, producing, rapping, performing, and singing. In terms of like the message you were saying, that is a hard one, because I think it does change from week to week, month to month, right?
It is
so,
like that.
It's kind of interesting though. I think in this time, I am really doing a lot of like self-reflection and trying to make music that is a lot more self-reflective in this moment, at least, and dive more into, you know, more introspective thoughts or songs, and kind of see where that goes. And I'm sure when that dries up, maybe I'll go into another phase where it's like all about being super energetic and super out there and super more like dancey. So I do feel you. I kind of just go with wherever. But
you try to listen to your heart.
Yes, I try.
Especially to bring that out when you say now self-reflection songs. I think it is the time around the world to have more self-reflection and to go more deep into yourself, and that you are the solution of everything, and the solution is not outside, it starts with yourself.
Yes.
And I think this is a collective thing right now, and to work on such songs or music, I think it's very important.
I mean, I think you should definitely have a phase. Every artist should have that phase. And it's funny because I think there's like a stereotype in the mainstream for like big artists. When they go into their introspective phase, that's when they don't do well, like in the mainstream, or get a lot of numbers, which I think is funny. But I think it is important because you have to reground yourself all the time, especially as someone that is creative. Like, your mind can just wander into no land, and then you can
Right.
get stuck there.
Yeah.
So you always have to like bring yourself back, ground yourself again, which is that.
Bring yourself back
Yeah.
from the land of nowhere.
The land
right?
of nowhere, exactly.
Land of nowhere.
Yes.
Bring yourself back.
I call it the land of. But
that's good. That's
but
a good
also
one.
you have to go to the land of nowhere to find new discoveries.
Right.
Like oh wow, I
Yeah.
found a whole new world like on the other side.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of a balance. You try to have this balance, and sometimes it's like this.
Yes, sometimes there's a balance, and sometimes
it's like this.
Yes. So on the other side, if you're too introspective for too long, sometimes I call that you're staying too inside the bubble, which means you're not pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. You're kind of just being like a recluse.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's when you have to go to no man's land and be brave and be like, all right, I'm just going to try something new. I'm really just going to go for it, see what happens.
Yeah.
So it is a balance at the end of the day.
I think this is a really, really, really good point for everyone. So not just for songwriters or artists. So sometimes we have to get lost to find ourselves again, and then the next challenge is to bring that out in the right way.
Right.
Because as you said, sometimes it sounds so good, you're so happy with it, but then you try to bring that out and you think, and every process is different, I guess. And so the year 2023, it was a little bit, so for me, it was a little bit hard, kind of, but not hard in a way that maybe people think. I was too hard to myself in this way. So it was a very, very turbulent kind of year, and with many different layers and things. And how was your year? So how was your 2023? So the summary, kind of.
I would say my 2023 year was, I think in a lot of ways similar, where it was a lot of ups and downs. But I think, to be honest, I think I had a bit more ups than downs, which I can be very grateful for. And I think there was a lot of growth in areas I think that I haven't spent a lot of time on. I'm big on really working hard and really trying to always try to get to that next level and always trying to level up myself, my skills, whatever it is. And I think for a long time I focused on like 3 or 4 things. And I work really hard, and the skill level or the capacity I have to do them just keeps going up and up and up, which is great. But at the same time, there's all these other things on the side that keep going down and down and down because you don't focus on them or are not attentive to them. So I think this past year I had to really refocus and shift a lot of that energy that I was putting to that 3 and 4 things. I had to shift it to those outside things to really work on them because they were falling really, really down low to where it was like becoming really bad. So I think it was, I definitely had to reshift a lot of my energy and reshift a lot of my focus to things I hadn't focused on in a long time. And
is there is there a dream that you have? So why you are making music? Is there the unconditional love about music? So that's my way. I love music more than I have nothing to
compare it to.
So it is something. It's kind of I have very romantic relationship with music. So when I was a little girl, I was always out with the dog, and so my mother, she told me I can't sing at home because she don't want that, and then I sing out with the dog on an open field. Nobody was there, so it was in a little village in Switzerland, so nobody cares. But music always lifts me up and give me hope back. When the outside tells me there is no hope, there is no chance, you can't do it, so you are too little, you are too, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I go back to music and I think there is hope, I'm sure. And if it's just a spark of hope, the horizon is there, I know that. And I have to go there, and I don't stuck in the nowhere. But and then I started to make music and to very late because I couldn't do it in my childhood because of my mom and my parents. So I had this normal life in Switzerland, but not the artist life. I all the talent was like in the dust. Totally. So you can see it, you can feel it. I was just working in a normal regular job, and the music came back to me when I had a stroke, like a brain stroke.
Oh wow!
And I was paralyzed in the hospital, and then this voice came in my mind or heart. I don't know how to say, and asked me, "Why you don't sing? So you have the voice. Why you don't do it?" And I this inner conversation started, and it was like, I have no band. I cannot read notes. I have just this love for music. So is that really enough? Yeah. Is that enough? Right. And this voice told me, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then I gave my promise to myself to go on my music journey, kind of healing journey, and to heal myself from all this hard and harsh lifestyle. And then I start to my first song I did on a park bench in New York, just the lyrics, and I was so surprised that I can do that, because sometimes you don't know who you are. You really don't know, because it's always people say from outside who you are or who you have to be, but then you find out this is not true. Oh wow, I can do this, or I can work on this skill, or I can bring this in, and then you learn about yourself that much. And for me, it's definitely through music. And then I found Michael because he is an instrumentalist. I'm really a vocalist and energy, so vocal. And then we start to work together. And but still, there is this romantic relationship with music, and I try to find my way through it. And I think, come on, I know this is really. I think for myself, this is really my opinion. Music is the direct connection for me to the universe, to my source, to it's like a light, and when I go into it, it's like, oh wow, I'm awake again. And so that is for me. And now we are here in Los Angeles, and the journey goes on.
Right.
And how is your relationship with music? How is your what is it for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big question.
Big speech.
It's a big speech. That was a very beautiful speech as well.
Thank you so much. To you with Saskia.
I think for me, it honestly changes. It's another thing that changes. I think for some parts of my life, I think very early on, like in high school and college, it was very therapeutic for me. In the same way where you get to really find out about yourself, and it's more about self-discovery. And so music was such a great passion for me to just be in a room and play piano and be like, wow, like this, I feel like I'm discovering, how I want to express myself as a human being. It was kind of like helping me use that as a tool. And so that was a phase of this is what music means for me. Right? And then another phase, so example is in college, in the summertime, I went to Boston, and I worked for this organization called Genuine Voices. And they teach music to kids in juvenile detention centers. So jail, essentially. And so pretty much you're supposed to be just a positive figure for these kids and use music as a way to influence them. And so there I was the rap teacher, so there's different teachers, and so
it's so cool.
Yeah, I was pretty popular, and like a lot of kids wanted to work with me.
Yeah.
And through that experience of just using music as a tool to just try to influence someone for the better.
Yeah. And you see how powerful music can be.
Yes, it was really powerful. And so what ended up happening was I'd made a curriculum where we'd make a beat, or I'd make a beat essentially, and then I would have them create a rap verse. And then we'd all rap on the same beat. And so they I'd be like, let's do the topic of family, and so they would write their verse, and they would talk about things that they never talk about to anyone, a lot of like trauma that they had gone through throughout their life, and these like sometimes most of the time like terrible home life situations, and so them getting it out was an amazing like weight off their shoulder just to like get it out and write it out and have this expression off of them. And they some of them would even like tear up and cry just because they're like, I never talked about this to anyone.
They release it kind of.
They release it, they're not holding it in anymore. And then my verse, or my sort of 2 cents was to try to like kind of write a verse so that maybe showed them a different way. It's like, hey, family doesn't have to be about this, or that's not all that family can be. It could be this, it could be, whatever. Just trying to be more positive on whatever topic. And just through that experience and again, like I said, like the power that it had, I was like, wow, this is what music means to me. It's like a tool to help people.
Right.
So in that phase, that was like another thing of what music meant to me. And then at times, music, I got skilled enough to where I was, obviously it fluctuates, but I was making good money, like just playing piano or producing for other people, or doing that stuff. So music meant financial stability in some phases. And I was like, okay with that, And then when it came to the artistry, it was like, okay, how do I want to express myself to the world? And how can I do that in an authentic way? And how can I, have a process to really dig and dive deep? And that was, that has become the artistry in me in terms of how I want to make songs and how do I want to present that to the world. That is what music means for me in those moments. Do you see what I mean? So it's like it's all different types of things. So I think music, I would say, kind of jumping to jumping to right now. Honestly, it's been attached with a lot of joy. And so every time I'm doing something musical, I'm just joyful. It doesn't have to mean I'm like changing the world. It doesn't have to mean I'm, expressing myself or trying my true form, or, being financially healthy or whatever. In this current moment, it's just like, it makes me happy.
Okay.
And that's enough.
That is so interesting about the face.
Different phases.
Different phases.
And I'm sure it'll change. I'm sure it'll change.
I never look at it like that. Because when I started 10 years ago to write my own lyrics and do my own melodies on the iPhone.
Right.
So I was so surprised about myself. It was like I always have a gift every day and say, oh wow, this is it. Oh wow, it's uncovering. Yeah, totally. And then when I met Michael and we started to try to bring this in a kind of professional way, it was like, oh okay, now I have to do music and make money with it. This is so it was huge at the beginning, and it was a lot. Because I had a total different life before. And it was like, so for me, I feel I have two lives kind of right now. So it is and then to find out how we do that, how do we have an own style, or it is just a little bit a singer-songwriter thing, or what is this? What is Dust of Soul? And in the night, at 3 a.m. In this moment I don't know Michael. I had this idea, this vision, Dust of Soul, and I had I reserved the website www.dustofsoul, and I had no idea what I'm doing, because I was like, what is that? Is this real English? What is this? So is this a name of a band? It's a little bit long, huh? So I was totally confused. Yeah. And then this 10 years, I think there was some phase as well for us, and now it's a very calm phase. So so for me, so it is like I accept the journey more now, because before I tried to say no, this is impossible, or it's like a no, it can be, or what we have to do, this is crazy. So sometimes you have to accept the flow.
And to piggyback off what you're saying, I think, like you're saying, when you try to take it on to mean everything, it has to be the unconditional love, it has to be, we have to make money off it has to be all these things. It gets so overwhelming and daunting, and it's like too much to handle when it's like that.
And you think, what would I have to do first? Like this, and then you have to calm down, breathe, and reconnect, and then let the flow go with the flow, kind of. I guess, and then I think your heart. So it is. So your heart is 5,000 times stronger than the mind. So it's really it is science. So your heart has a power. They start now to uncover that. So because we had in the last years we had a lot of focus on the mind, and to say reach your goals, do this and that, and so I'm coaching and be focused and like that. But the heart works different.
It does, definitely does.
And so even you are overwhelmed, or you have too much at the moment, your heart knows. And the only thing then what you have to do is to listen to your heart. I know this is a song. I know. Listen to your heart. Ba, 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 right? Yes. So, but I really mean it. It is. But then you have to go calm, relaxing, and then you can listen to your heart, and then you jump into the flow of the heart, and that is always the right direction. And 2024, what is, you have a goal, or you have a wish? Maybe a wish is beautiful, or a feeling, maybe a feeling about 2024.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think similarly, maybe that's just how my brain works, because I'm always like, it's so many things. That's all my answers. It's a lot of reasons,
Okay.
So of course I have like goals that I want to do. Some of them being,
for example, to have an open air in Switzerland with us on the lake. Ta-da! Promotion right now.
100%. That is a goal.
100%.
That is a goal of mine. A new goal of today.
A new goal. Something different. You see the flow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But yes, so of course I have...
but you have a feeling for 2024. Is there a feeling when you think on this number?
So the feeling is my feeling has to do with health. So I want to feel healthy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the biggest feeling I want to have.
Okay.
And want to follow.
Yeah.
So if it feels unhealthy, I don't want to do
what that means for you feels unhealthy.
Yeah, exactly.
So when someone comes to you and say, let's do a song together, and then you mean when you don't feel it in your heart, is that unhealthy?
I think
what it is?
the same way of my heart. I think about my body a lot and how my body feels in that same way. So in that same way, say someone's like, I'll put an example of, hey, do you want to play this gig at a restaurant or something?
Yeah.
And I go play the gig, and the whole time I'm like tired, I'm like lethargic, and I'm really not motivated. I'm checking in with my body, and it's like I'm really slow, you know, all those small things. And then they ask me, and then afterwards I'm like exhausted for no reason. And they're like, hey, can you play next week? That's a moment of like, do I do it even though it feels very unhealthy to do it, you know, that kind of thing. I want to make those decisions to be like, you know what, it doesn't feel like healthy for me to do that. So
this is a very good advice for everyone. So listen to your body, to your feelings, and if it's connected, and if it feels healthy, that's very good advice.
So that's something I've been trying to focus on more and more. Yeah. Because I think even when you're writing songs or being creative, I think there's a point to where it has diminishing returns, or you're becoming so kind of like wrapped up in your own tension in your own body that you're not writing things that are meaningful anymore, and you're just kind of writing things to write things, but your body is like, yo, this ain't it. And you might have to like focus on your health for a little bit to like get to a state where you can create something that's meaningful.
I think then you are in a different frequency, and different things comes to you. So I think it starts all with you. And if you are in a healthy frequency, so that means in a peace with yourself, or you listen to yourself, then the frequency goes higher, and then you, even your heart is in a different frequency then, and then some other projects comes to you, or some other people, and in a other frequency, and then you can grow in a very nice way, I guess. And because it's all about frequency. So that Einstein says that too. It's science again. So even for the heart, when you have a good, so when you work on your heart and you bring this pain out that you have from the past maybe, and it's stuck in your body, then you go in another frequency, and you can reach or reach other people, because everything is frequency. It has, like in a radio, but it has to match, kind of.
Yeah, no, 100%. My way of kind of like interpreting that is like, I'm a big I grew up playing a lot of sports, and I'm big into like physical conditioning and things like that. So I think about it like muscles, like if you're trying to build muscle and build strong muscles, you don't want to work it too hard, because then the tendons will just break. Right. So you want to,
and you need rest as well.
Exactly. So you need to push yourself. But you need to not push yourself too hard. And you need time to rest, because that resting period is actually when you build the muscle, right? You're not building the muscle when you're actually working out. You're building the muscle when
it's the same resting. With music. In the pause is the melody in between. This is good advice as well. Listen to Sugi Dakks, please. So now we come to the end of Tea with Saskia. Today I have 3 crazy questions for you.
Okay.
I have them here.
Oh, wow.
The damn magic.
That's funny.
So just answer them quick, or what comes in your mind.
Okay, so like just short answers.
So so the three questions. So if you could be an animal, which one you would choose?
If I could be an animal, so there's two answers, because there's the one that people tell me.
Okay.
And then there's the one I think I am. So I'll start with the one that people tell me. Mostly my girlfriend. She says she has called me a mountain goat.
Okay.
In the past.
Okay.
So, you know, you might have to ask her why.
Yeah,
So,
I really have.
But
because I was thinking exactly like this now. Why? Maybe they are so strong and they reach for the top.
You know, I think it's a version of, you know, they're always like climbing mountains.
Yeah, climbing. Yeah,
and,
right.
You know, they're always
Go
like
up,
running,
yeah.
jumping around, but also got, you know, the little goatee. So, you know,
okay.
Go,
so it's a mix. I guess.
It's a mix. But on the inside, sometimes I think I'm a panda bear. I like panda bears.
Totally opposite, right?
From the goat.
So relaxed and
yeah, just like a big animal. I just want to eat my bamboo sticks. Just want to do my own thing, sleep, you know. But I'm a big animal, so I can still move around.
Yeah.
Still wreak havoc if I want to. But for the most part, I'm gonna be chill.
Yeah, and have your bamboos.
And have my bamboo.
That's so cute.
So.
But I think both is kind of right. Both animals, kind of. I see both.
I'm a mixture of a mountain goat and a panda.
Okay, it is a good mix.
I'm a mountain panda.
A mountain panda, perfect. I guess they are real.
Maybe. Maybe
Okay.
I'm the first one.
Yeah, it's good. It's always good. So the second question is, what you would never eat for breakfast?
What would I never eat for breakfast?
Never.
That's tough because I can eat a lot for breakfast.
Okay.
What would I never eat for breakfast?
You see, these questions are a little bit like,
I don't even know. I think,
you would eat everything?
I think I would eat most things
The
for
most
breakfast.
things
I could
for
eat
breakfast.
I could eat dinner for breakfast. I could eat.
Oh, okay.
I could eat like seafood for breakfast. I don't have a problem with that. I know a lot of people do, but
So like a buffet.
I could eat a buffet for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
I like breakfast. Breakfast is my
I like
favorite
breakfast too.
meal.
That's one of my favorite meal.
Yes.
I love that.
Same.
I love
So.
So good. Okay. And the last one is desert or ocean?
Desert or ocean to live in?
No,
Or just what you prefer. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to say the ocean over the desert. I feel like the desert, in my mind, you know, it's always like you're stranded in the desert, slowly dying.
Yeah.
The ocean has so many beautiful, amazing creatures.
Yeah.
Some of them can eat you, yes, but for the most part.
Or you eat them for breakfast?
Or maybe I eat them.
For breakfast?
Maybe raw fish.
Huh.
I would not eat.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe just a dead fish, maybe.
Yeah.
But
So
maybe
ocean.
if I was in the ocean though, stranded in the ocean, I might have to do it. So,
Yeah.
but regardless, I think I still pick ocean.
Ocean.
I like the ocean.
And you have a last advice for our community or for the world that is say, hi, folks. Something in mind, in heart?
Last piece of advice. Something that I was thinking about recently was bravery, or the word, or being brave, and what that means to people. I think a lot of times people think it's the lack of fear or not being afraid. You know, those are the people that are brave. But I'm really trying to take on the definition of being brave is in those moments where you are afraid, where you do have a lot of fear, you decide to do it anyway. And that being the moment of bravery. Because everyone has those moments of fear, moments of being afraid.
Yeah.
But it's more of the fact, it's like, do you fall back in those moments?
Yeah.
Or do you be like, okay, even though I'm afraid, I'm
Yeah.
still going to do
Yeah.
it. And that's being brave, so.
Okay. So I think the advice is for 2024, be brave, go over your fears, reconnect with your body and heart,
Reconnect with the body.
and then follow the flow.
Follow follow the flow.
Right?
Great advice.
So thank you so much, dear friends, to be today here with Coffee with Saskia. We have today tea with Saskia, wonderful chai tea, and Sugi Dakks is here, and you will find all the information about you, about your Instagram, about your work, about your music, about your story down there in the link. And we say goodbye, and we wish you all the best for 2024, and celebrate yourself and never give up, right?
Great. Love ending on that.
Love you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for everything. Cheers.